Good afternoon. Welcome to 30 Frames a Second. My name is Greg Lassiter, and we have a fantastic show for you today. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Racism is a competitive relationship between groups of people who are competing for the ownership and control of resources, wealth, and power. That's what racism is. Racism never existed on the earth until the 1500s, when all of a sudden 9 European nations decided to use black labor, black bodies, and black wealth out of Africa to get in a race. After Columbus had discovered America, supposedly, in quotes, in 1495, all of a sudden they got a rush to redevelop the Western world. So all these countries were in a race, a contest, competing to see who can develop North America, Central America, and Latin America. It was a race. It was a race, and everybody was in the race but black folk. Black folk never participated in the race. You were the prize, the boot, the loot that they used to empower themselves. See, they were buying blacks in Africa on a typical for $15 to $20 a piece. And they established a thing called a profit margin, 15% return on investment, 1,500% return. So they were selling for $400 and $500. They got into the United States and to other countries. And that's why the whole banking system started off of slavery in Portugal. Again, and the whole system of capitalism started off of black slavery. Before that was mercantilism. The whole concept that you all are playing in with promotions and what's called marketing development came out of black slavery. And it was designed not for you to profit, but for others to profit. Everybody was profiting initially except you, and it has not changed.
I supported Senator Barack Obama, and when he became president, I was obviously extremely proud. And his administration came to me and said, hey, these corporations are trying to get bigger, and they want to be much bigger. And we want to know, Comcast is trying to buy this, and Charter, these folks are trying to buy whatever. We want to know, are they good corporate citizens? I said, the answer is not no, it's hell no. They're not good corporate citizens. And they say, why do you say that? I say, well, as an industry, they spend $70 billion a year licensing cable networks. So when you pay your cable bill, $1 goes to Lifetime, $8 goes to ESPN, another $1 goes to this cable network, whatever it might be, right? A&E. So I said, out of $70 billion in payout, black folks, we get zero, practically literally nothing. And I said, we don't have economic inclusion. You have Spanish language networks where the people who own them can't even speak Spanish. You don't have people from the gay community owning their networks or Asian people owning their networks. And if we don't own our networks, then we don't really have a seat at the table. And our voices aren't heard. Our voices aren't widely distributed. And so therefore, we're not really a part of the democracy. And we're not getting any economic inclusion. And that's what the numbers say. Out of $70 billion, Negroes get zero. I'm going to file a federal lawsuit. And that way you have to really deal with me. And this is how I decided to deal with the 4Ds. I'm going to use your system. And I'm going to go through your process so you can't dismiss me, discredit me, demonize me, and destroy me.
Oh, welcome back. You're here at 30 Frames a Second, and I'm here with the creator, the man, the myth. He's not a myth, but the man himself, the genius. Nat Wood, welcome, brother.
Hey, what's up, brother?
That is probably one of the most powerful pieces, intros, that we've had. Each week gets better and better. And mind you guys, Nat did all the editing, all the shooting, and preferably, to his preference and our preference, all the music belongs to us. No copyright. Now, if you guys haven't heard, Byron Allen.
Right.
Byron is one of the most astute entertainment moguls.
Right.
In the business.
Right.
As far as up there, I say more so than Johnson. Bob Johnson.
Yes.
Bob Johnson.
Yes. Bob Johnson developed a small company, sold it for a lot of money.
Right.
And now he walks around shilling for white folks.
Right. That's exactly right, because BET, Black Entertainment Television, is owned by white people.
Correct. It's all owned by white people.
Right. So you got three of the largest networks out there, communication people.
Right.
You got Charter.
Right. And it's all controlled by white people.
Right.
All the licensing is done by only basically three corporations.
AT&T.
Right, AT&T,
Charter,
and
Comcast. Right.
Comcast, NBC, Universal.
And as you guys see that only
the NBC part is going to be very important when we talk about some of the shenanigans.
We are not included. They can show some of our, and the shows that they show us is not even original programming.
No.
You know, and only things they have like reality TV, scripted reality TV, which makes us look like buffoons.
Well, not only that. When everything is controlled by a white supremacist agenda, and I say a white supremacist agenda because the agenda is to lock black folks out of the decision-making process and the ability to have control over what people see and think and react to and learn.
Right.
More importantly than how we see ourselves is the way that white supremacist controlled media takes liberties with historical accuracy.
Which what you say, they don't give it to us the right way.
Yeah.
You know, it's distorted like you would not believe or not even told about it. So my thing is this, I mean, even those, the black people that it's supposed to be for us, that's supposed to step up behind us, we're being sold out.
Well, that is correct. Not everybody is ready for this. Not everybody is like built for this. Especially a lot of quote unquote intellectuals or academics or scholars, whatever the hell they call.
Or wannabe scholars and academics.
Du Bois. I hear a lot of stuff about Du Bois, but Du Bois was not ready for this.
Right.
He spent his time trying to kneecap Marcus Garvey.
Right.
Marcus Garvey was talking about international shipping. Marcus Garvey was talking about self-sufficiency.
Right.
Marcus Garvey was talking about like making money. Du Bois was talking some noise about I'm a nigga that went to Harvard.
Right. Was it the guy from Queens?
There's a lot, especially now as we get closer and closer to the reality. They tend to put Negroes who want a better payday within the confines of a white supremacist slave system.
Right.
You know, they just want to be like the masses' favorite slave as opposed to like
trying to further our agenda.
Trying to well, see, it's bigger than our agenda.
Right.
We're talking about the direction of America. Is America going to remain the same eyesore, the same blight on the future as it has been on history,
Right.
or are we going to grow and progress and find a way and truly become a land of equal opportunity and honesty?
Right. But we seem to have lost. I look at people. I was going to wait to talk about Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton has never been one of my favorites because I think he started out. Well, I don't even think he started out. I think Al was always about self-sufficiency because this lawsuit, which is bigger than us, that Byron Allen is suing him as well as the networks for $20 billion. And now they're taking into consideration the Civil Rights Act of 18.
Well, they take a lot of junk in consideration. When they would, who was it? Comcast? I think it was Comcast. It might have been Charter. Excuse me. When they were going up against Byron Allen in the lawsuit,
Right.
They argued that it was their First Amendment right to discriminate against Byron Allen,
Right.
and they used as a precedent the fact that in Boston, gays wanted to march in the parade, and they gave the parade owners a First Amendment right to discriminate against them, which was like silly. But the Supreme Court has a history of racist decisions
Right, which-
and opinions.
But here's the thing.
I mean,
now,
it's not. Almost all of them were
But here's
racist
the
and
thing,
silly.
with this case that's going to Supreme Court with Byron Allen takes into consideration our civil rights. Now, it says that if this passes in the
He
Supreme
argued
Court,
a good.
he
good
argued
point.
a great point. But if the Supreme Court doesn't see it the way we want it to go,
Right.
it says that I could fire you because you're black, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to prove 100% and not 99%.
No matter what they do in the Byron Allen case, and it's interesting that they came so vociferously after Bill Cosby made that move.
For
Right.
Look where he is.
A lot of it is about NBC because
Right.
NBC is Comcast, which
Right.
is the mothership.
Right,
It's
which
number
is
one.
number
Don't
one
care
in the-
how you
right.
slice
That's
it.
exactly right.
Comcast, NBC, Universal.
Right.
They're going to come after Ice Cube and
Byron Allen?
No, not Byron Allen. Byron Allen is already. They're going to argue the case in the Supreme Court now. They just
Tomorrow.
decide.
Tomorrow.
Right.
Arguing the case tomorrow.
But Ice Cube, and another couple of guys, including what's the rapper that Puffy pushed out the business and then he became a superstar actor?
I can't even.
Big brown skin brother.
Wait. Not Mace. No.
No, out of Queens. He's on TV now.
LL Cool J.
LL. Well, him and Cube and a couple of other guys see an opportunity to grab Disney.
Right.
Because Disney is up for sale.
Right. And they blocked it.
And they block it. So we're getting into dangerous territory for white supremacy. White supremacy is going like ape doo-doo because it has so many. It's really running scared. That's why Trump with the DACA thing trying to destroy them because they see too many like black and brown skinned folks gaining too much access to too much power too quickly, and
But that's where we all need to come together, Nat. That's where we all need to come together and start being separate. You know, and that's what scares me because are we too far gone to come back?
As a group, see, there are certain things that I don't subscribe to.
Right.
And people have been saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and it just gets on my nerves because it's like, you know, you're like a broken record, but you don't take time to think about the ramifications of what you're saying, and you don't take time to think about the reality of the situation. If we're talking about getting the masses of black people to all agree and come together, I do not see that happening in the foreseeable millennium.
But that's a problem, though. That's a problem.
No, it's not a problem.
We have to have more than we need more than having all. We need most of the people to come together.
See, people like Byron Allen, people like Ice Cube, even Jay-Z, as stupid as he is, making moves in terms of, although Jay-Z is more slave than free man.
Right, exactly.
But cats like Byron Allen, cats like Ice Cube, people who are making moves toward winning it for the culture, as they say.
Right.
That is the wave of the future.
It
now, that is not something that is reliant on black folks coming together as one.
Right.
There has always been black folks that have been problematic.
Right.
As a matter of fact, one of the tenets of colonialism, one of the mechanisms of colonialism is to find a cat who is malleable, and give him a lot of guns. That's always been white supremacist thing. That's what they did in Haiti, and that's what they did in Iran with the Shah, and that's what they do all over. There's a lot of born slaves, with pocket change, and
I have to go back. I have to go back to Al Sharpton.
Sharpton is a born slave, and I'm not saying he doesn't mean. First of all,
because no, let me not to cut you off.
No, cut me off.
He dismissed Byron Allen's lawsuit as frivolous, but yet they gave him $3.8 million to NAD. They gave money to the NAACP. They gave money to. They even let Al keep his $750,000 gig for his show on MSNBC when the ratings are tanked.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
I love Martin Luther King.
Right.
But if Martin Luther King had lived, Martin Luther King's strategies would have changed.
Right. He would have changed with the times.
Right. With the reality of the times.
Right.
As time progresses, you deal with that's battle strategy. When circumstances change, you adapt or die.
Right. That's exactly right.
We have a problem adapting. We have a whole lot of people who consider themselves leaders who are not leaders. They are not even bright.
Leader.
They are not even bright.
Not even thinkers.
Well, no.
I don't call them
But like the Wizard of Oz told the Scarecrow, I'm gonna give you a diploma.
and that's gonna tell you, you have a heart.
Right. There are a lot of people that ain't got no more brains than you got, but they got a diploma.
Right. And he convinced he convinced the Scarecrow that he had a brain.
That is correct. He started like
thinking.
Well, he started dealing with bad math equations, but he said them really convincing.
Right.
The children didn't know. It was like, what? No, Al Sharpton, and all of them progressive cats are full of doo-doo.
Right.
But Al Sharpton tends to consider himself a disciple of Martin Luther King.
Not even close.
The problem is,
I know what.
Even Martin Luther King, Luther King's strategy which was right for that time and place,
Right.
is not right for today
Right.
and
Right.
other places.
Right.
Martin Luther King's strategy was correct for the South
Right, right. But it wouldn't work.
in 1965.
Right, right.
But it's not right for the United States of America, for
Right.
black people in the United States of America,
That's right.
for poor people in the United States of America in the year 2019.
Right. It
The
won't even stand. It wouldn't even stand a chance.
as a matter of fact, the strategy of Byron Allen and Ice Cube and Bill Cosby is a strategy that is actually Marcus Garvey's strategy.
Right.
It's the only viable strategy. Sooner or later, and I don't care how much money they offer you,
Right.
how much fame they offer you, sooner or later, and it's gonna happen. Sooner or later, people are gonna wanna throw off the yoke
Yep.
of slavery. It is time for us to become players in this game.
Right.
No matter what they do to Byron Allen, no
It's
matter
inevitable. It's gonna change.
inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's
Right. It is
inevitable.
very
We
much inevitable.
have to control. We
Right.
have to control.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, whether Cornel West
Which
likes
isn't-
it, whether Dyson likes it,
Right.
whether Sharpton likes it,
Right.
no matter who likes it or doesn't,
Right.
ultimately, white supremacy has to be defeated and destroyed.
But-
has to be.
but
by
look-
any means necessary.
But look, Nat, look at, under the Obama administration, you had people like Cornel West, Michael Dyson, some other crazy Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, those pundits speaking up how much against them. But now that this clown is in office, where is Cornel West? I heard something about Michael Dyson. He wanted to come on the show. I told him I'd get back to him on that. Because I said,
Yeah, it wouldn't be an easy time for him on this show,
No,
but
no.
I would welcome his input. But this is not the place for lip service to
Right,
your BS.
right.
You're gonna have to explain to the people your position.
Right.
And if your position is just one of a comfortable servitude,
Right, because that's what it is.
It's not gonna work.
because you look at Al Sharpton.
It's not gonna work.
He has that.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
He wants you to do things because he believes that the road to a comfortable servitude
Right.
is acquiescence.
Right, and the acquiescence is no more than slavery.
It
Being a
is
slave.
slavery.
It
It
nothing-
is slavery.
But
That's
where-
the knock on black
where
people that
is
we
Cornel
are too
West?
malleable.
Where's Cornel West? Somebody tell me,
Cornel
where's it?
West ain't built for this.
But you know what? But Cornel West had so much to say in the last administration. This administration is probably by far the worst administration in my lifetime. So where is Cornel West speaking up against Obama? I mean, against Donald Trump? Is he
Cornel
being
West
bought? Is he being bought?
No, he's not being bought. He's a born slave. None of those guys are really being bought, although the money is attractive. But that's not why they're doing it. They are doing it because they are born slaves.
What do you think? Because they don't want to rock the boat.
No, because they're just born slaves.
Now, what that means
It's
is
just
that's
a
what
part
that's
of
a part
them.
of them, right?
Right. They cannot envision a world past white supremacy.
Right.
They
That's
have
crazy.
accepted. Well, yes.
Well, look at Jay-Z.
It's
Look at
crazy.
Jay-Z.
He
And you-
can't accept.
I know.
Oprah can't accept
No,
the
and
world
that's the
past
thing,
white supremacy.
But what happened, Nat? What happened to these people that on the come up, they had this pro-black ideology of, okay, once I get there, I'm gonna reach back. And none of these people, you look at Byron Allen, I mean not Byron Allen, you look at Oprah Winfrey, you look at Tyler Perry.
Well, they reach back.
But they still have that. They have that white supremacy ideology.
They don't see a world beyond white supremacy. They don't see a world where the white man is not the giver of life,
Right.
with dominion over all things on earth. They do not see envision a world past that. They do not envision a world. They don't envision an America, and they certainly don't envision a world that is representative in terms of control, is representative of all the peoples of the world.
Because that's that slave mentality.
It is.
What's it going to take?
That's the knock
What's it
on
going
black
to take?
people. That the black people are just tractable.
Okay, but what's it going to take, Nat, because
for them, it ain't gonna happen.
But if we don't, we still have to move forward.
That's gonna happen.
But we have to move forward in a sense where there's some of us, most of us, have to see what we see. Have to see a world.
No. Most of us won't. Most of us won't.
Then how do we survive
most
this?
of us will
How
get
do we survive
down
this, Nat?
by doing what we're doing. By you doing what you're doing, by me doing what we're doing,
Right.
by getting like-minded people,
Right.
Visionary people, people who are unafraid,
Right.
people who are willing to put their back in it and
Right.
their soul in it, and people who do not accept the fact that it is my lot in life to be subservient, and the best I can hope for is a better deal
Right.
from the Great White Father.
But let me ask you something, Nat. At what point, though?
None of those guys can do anything. Do you ever notice that all of those guys who talk about how intellectual they are
they never do
can't
anything.
do
There's
anything?
no
Have
action
you?
plan.
Well, not only that, in terms of it takes all types of people to build a world.
Right.
Even if we somehow magically took over the world,
Right.
none of those cats can do anything
They
but
wouldn't survive.
teach history.
Right. That's exactly right. Think about it.
They can't fix your toilet. They can't write a love song. They can't. I mean, there's nothing.
They have no
They have
talent.
no
They have no
skills.
talent,
They
no
can't
skills, right.
help build your house. They have no skills at all.
But think about this. On the come up, you had people like Oprah, who was talented, who had a little bit of skills on the come
No,
up.
she didn't. Oprah ain't got no talent.
She had to have something.
Oprah is shrewd. I mean,
I know.
now you trying to get into the road of the black woman versus the black man on me. I know what you're trying to do. You trying to manipulate me.
Would I do that?
yeah.
Since we're going there, since we're at that point, you see these people, you see our black people, which, like, the black woman serves the purpose.
Yes,
white supremacy.
Oprah is an excellent business person. She has a business mind second to none.
Right.
She is also an opportunist, and she saw a pathway that no one else saw. So she is visionary. She's visionary for Oprah and her particular skill
But
set.
it's short-sighted.
Well, not if you're only seeing Oprah.
But what happened
It's
to...
short-sighted if you're looking at everybody else. But Oprah was never looking at everybody
but then
else.
again,
Oprah was doing Oprah.
But then you look at people like Tyler Perry.
And I'm
who's
not
doing
mad
that.
at Oprah for doing
but,
Oprah.
No, but thing of it is that again, it goes back to the white supremacy ideology that
Tyler Perry was more...
I don't think he has talent either.
No, I don't either. He was more opportunistic, and he was luckier.
Right.
Oprah was more deliberate in the way she approached it. Methodical. Everything was like step by step planned out and whatnot. She understood. I mean, I'm sure she watched old movies. She know that she saw Raintree County with Liz Taylor. She knows that the only person Liz actually loved. She didn't even love Montgomery Clift. All she loved was her mammy.
Well,
She didn't love her.
Cliff was gay.
But I'm saying in the movie,
movie. Okay,
in the movie,
Okay, right,
he was just a dashing young man who married her,
Right.
and made a baby by her.
But then if you think about that, Nat, look at.
But in the movie, Liz Taylor was somewhat nuts. And Liz Taylor actually hated her own biological mother.
Right.
And Liz Taylor hated her mother because of what they did to her mammy.
Right.
Her mammy was the only one who took care of her, who understood her.
Right.
Even when you look at Gone with the Wind,
Right.
you realize how close the Negroes were to Charlotte, closer
Right.
than anybody else.
They raised them. They raised them.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There is a historical precedent, an end for the black woman. That is not there for the black man.
Because that means that means we're all out here on our own.
Yes.
You know, and there's, you know, you either, to us, it's either you sink or swim.
Yes.
And
yes.
most of us aren't swimming.
Well, most of us sink.
Right.
Most of us are sinking.
Right. So I mean,
Fast, like
yeah,
stones.
like we're becoming extinct.
Well, kind of, yeah.
You know, because
yeah.
you look at the black woman. There's always going to be a place for the black woman in this
Middle management. No,
What does that mean?
I'm just not joking.
No, you're not joking at all. Please explain that, middle management.
There is a place for her. There is a place for Mammy. There is a place for Sally Hemings.
Right.
There is not.
Okay, but now the fact that you're Sally Hemings, explain that situation. Explain that train of thought.
Well, what I'm saying has historical precedent.
Right.
We've talked about this historical precedent, specifically Louisiana,
Right.
and the Tignon laws, the female headdress laws,
right.
that were laws passed in Louisiana. Specifically at the behest of white women,
Right.
to curb the sexual allure of miscegenated, light-skinned, free black women.
Right.
These are Tignon.
Look it up.
Tignon. I'm not making this up.
this is
These
law.
are laws
We
in the
talked about
United
this
States of
before.
America.
Right.
Right. In Louisiana, white women saw brown-skinned free women. Remember, you don't
Right.
need a law for slaves.
Right.
You just tell a slave what to
do.
do.
Right.
The law was passed for free, miscegenated, Creole, brown-skinned women that required them to cover up that pretty wild hair and try to curb,
it down, yeah.
curb,
Lay it
right,
down.
tamp down on that sexual energy,
Allure.
that sexual allure that she had specifically for the white man.
Right.
The white woman saw the free black woman, especially the brown-skinned woman, as a threat,
Right.
and
Big
at
threat.
her behest, they instituted these laws.
Right.
So I'm not the one that came up with this.
Right.
I'm
So,
not the one that came up with this.
My phone is.
Well, Tignon.
Look it up.
Look it up.
If people hit me
Look
up
it
on
up.
social media,
Look it up.
somebody
It's the
said,
headdress
is that a law?
laws.
It is
Yes,
really a law.
yes.
It's a law.
That
We
came
spoke
out of
about this on the
Louisiana.
show before.
Louisiana, the Creole capital of the world. Certainly the Creole capital of the United States of America. The
Right.
saucy brown-skinned girl empire.
Now, what's the state of the black man in America now?
We have different types of black men. Right now, the state of the black man is one of total confusion, because we have so many black men going in so many different directions, many of which are just stupid. You have the black man who is an apolitical idiot who is picking up rap money and don't know
Right. Up from down.
doggies from doo-doo. And that's heavy in the rap game. You have some older cats who are more business
Like
right.
Like
You
us,
know,
right.
but cats in the rap game who at one time I wrote off, but come to find out that they are bolder
Right.
than I gave them credit for, in that they did have limits. You know, I mean, sometimes you got to get in where you fit in
Right.
in order to make something happen.
Right.
But they're not born slaves.
Right.
T.I. is not a born
Right.
slave.
Right.
Sooner or later, he's going to bark at that
Master P.
title.
Master P.
Right.
Master
Certainly, Ice Cube is not a born
right,
slave.
right.
Ice Cube don't care who you are. He's had a history of not caring.
Right.
You
He's
know. Right. You know. As a matter of fact, that's his claim to fame.
Right.
You know, I'll eat dirt before I kiss your ass.
Right. That's right.
When they took over, when the cat took over NWA, and they started threatening him.
Right.
You know, he was quick to say, "I'll beat all your asses, and I'll
I don't care. Right.
I don't care. Before I sign with this snake in the grass,
Right.
I will flip burgers all my life."
Right.
So there's an old school arrogance to Ice Cube.
Right. His old soul.
He has an old soul.
Right.
He has an old soul. When LL, when they like tried to manipulate him with the rap thing,
No, he
he
didn't
just
fall
found
that way.
another avenue,
Another source of revenue.
Right.
And he became good at it.
That is correct. And now they are forming a consortium in an attempt to like own some stuff.
right,
you know, we all sick of genuflecting to the
But look what Ice Cube did.
to the devil.
The NBA wouldn't let him play, so he started a 3-on-3.
That's right.
3-on-3.
That's right. And to show you the trickle down subservience. This is the ramification of being a comfortable slave. I always say that there are only two organizations, black organizations, that I know of, that I can think of offhand, who made it their business to mandate that their members grow and become more educated and learn. That was the Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam. I know of no other black organization that mandates that your ass put down the gun and go get some books. That is the most dangerous weapon. That's what they told Jamal Joseph. Jamal Joseph wanted to be like a Gangster Panther when he was a little kid getting in there, and they said, "I'll give you a weapon," and gave him some books. That was the Panthers. The same thing with the Nation of Islam. They demand that you get yourself together. You just can't come to a meeting and go rah, rah, rah in all your ignorance and stay ignorant for the next 20 years.
They wanted you to learn. Keep learning. Because the NAACP is not like that. They're not even relevant anymore.
Well, the NAACP has always been NAACP. It has always been a comfortable slave. The National Urban League has always been a comfortable slave organization. To find a way to make slavery more comfortable.
And that I think that it's good. We have to, as black men, have to do something. There has to be a solution to us going beyond where we are.
See, there is a when we showed the opening, we juxtaposed a lot of stuff. I don't know if people caught it, you know. But we juxtaposed a lot of stuff. We juxtaposed to where we came from, and him saying we haven't gotten anywhere.
To look at Byron Allen.
And Byron Allen. But through that, we also had shots of the black guy with all his bags living in the street. Prison labor. Prison slave labor, and how that has not changed because we also saw the shot of the women in chains working the slave. So that has none of that stuff has changed. And to show you how much it has not changed. De Blasio, who is still a white supremacist, I don't care how many times he drags out his black wife and his black children, he makes white supremacist decisions. He made a white supremacist decision in terms of who he hired as police chief. He made a white supremacist decision in attacking people of color whose only major crime was that they were poor. They bum rushed a woman for selling churros in a Brooklyn subway, and talking about, well, we got laws and whatnot. You uncompassionate bastard. If anybody who got enough money to get a damn license to sell breadsticks in the subway, they wouldn't be selling breadsticks in the subway to begin with. That's right. If you want to drive a cab, it costs you a fortune. No matter what you want to do, they have made it almost impossible for poor people to move from one point to another. They bum rushed a 19-year-old. They had like 30, 40 cops, all after this one 19-year-old guy on the subway because he jumped the turnstile to get on the train.
$2.75.
$2.75. So they are attacking black poverty. If you notice, in the opening, we showed you the shot of all the buildings that were going up and all the cranes. We also showed you the black man galloping on the horse. This is the job he has. Living in the street, that's the job he has. They are making, but they are attacking every way that we can possibly make money and move from point A to point B on every level.
Do you know why?
There is no difference in the way they are attacking Byron Allen and the way they attack the dude who jumped the turnstile. No way. They are attacking his ability to progress and make money.
They're doing that because
that is white supremacy.
They're doing it because white supremacy is threatened.
Because white supremacy is threatened.
And people, you got to understand that. White supremacy, there's a difference between, we showed
that
you
is correct.
The difference between racism and white supremacy.
Dr. Claude Anderson explained it in the beginning. None of it. There was no racism until the 16th century. Until Columbus made his voyage, and then European nations found all of these people with all of these rich lands that they could dominate, and they've been doing the same damn gimmick.
Like the banking system was formed on slavery.
And if you look at what's happening in Hong Kong, it is a direct result of the Opium Wars, all happening around the same time.
That's exactly right.
It's the White Cross, the thing of the flag of Scotland.
That's right.
What was his name? Adam Smith, who had the invisible hand, started the Wall Street phenomenon and whatnot about the invisible hand will take care. He's out of Scotland, and all of that happened. When was it? 1776.
Yep. That's exactly
1776.
Right. That's exactly right.
You know, so if you want to look at history, if you really want to look at history and see when all of this occurred and what they are trying to do, try to curtail specifically black folks, but anything blackish from gaining any kind of control in a white supremacist system. White supremacy is desperately holding on.
But here's the thing too, on the flip side of that, we control entertainment. That
is correct. We don't need them. We don't need white folks to give us a movie about Harriet Tubman.
They need us.
We don't need white folks to make music. We don't need white folks to come up with stuff. That's why they control. That's why they make sure that they control. If black folks just like walked out of football and started their own league, football would be screwed. Football would be nothing. Basketball would be nothing. Baseball would be nothing.
This is where I tell black people all the time, guys, if they're not including us, I own all my own stuff.
Correct.
I don't need them.
Correct.
I don't need to be
Correct.
accepted by
Correct.
them. And that's what I
Correct.
tell you guys every day.
Correct.
You know what? If we stop
Correct.
watching TV
Correct.
for one day
Correct.
and insist
Correct.
on
Correct.
something,
Correct.
it will cripple the system.
Yo.
And Martin Luther King did it. Martin Luther King did it. He crippled the system.
30 frames a second operates on a budget of whatever we got at the time.
Right.
There are a lot of shows that operate on HBO's budget.
Oh, $1 million budgets.
$1 million budgets. All of HBO's name recognition,
right,
open
right.
doors for
Right.
all of the music rights that they can buy,
right.
all of that stuff. We do all the shooting, all the editing,
Right.
compose all the music.
Yep. No copyrights there.
We owe nobody anything. We owe nobody anything.
Excuse me.
The resourcefulness of the black man is legendary.
Right.
There
Right.
was 3 ways that a black man could become free, get free from slavery. They were called manumissions, meritorious manumissions. You had one way to get free was to snitch on a black guy who was trying to escape.
Right.
Yeah. If you tell on Harriet Tubman
Right.
or tell me
Where
where
they
Nat
are.
Turner
Right.
is, you can get
go
your
free.
freedom.
Right.
Another way was to save the life of
white
your
man.
white
Right.
master. He might set you free if you
Right.
save his life.
Right. Or his wife's life.
Okay. Right. A third way was very interesting. It was very interesting. The third way was very interesting because he keeps telling me that I'm a blithering idiot and I'm nothing without him. And the third way was if I come up with an idea that makes him a buttload full of money. Now,
Oh my God.
Now, if you bought a pet monkey, you wouldn't tell the monkey, I'll set you free if you come up with an idea.
To tell me where I can
Right.
get rich.
Where I
right?
can make a whole lot of money.
Right. Why didn't I give that to you?
Right. And apparently people were getting free in just that way.
Right.
When you think about slavery, especially in places like Georgia,
Right.
they had all of these slaves and nothing to do with them because a lot of white people were trying to farm land
Right.
that was not salvageable. It was just not fertile soil. They didn't know how to grow anything to eat or
Right.
live.
They didn't know how to-
They
they
didn't
had
know
no
what to
skills.
do. And they look up and the slaves is planting okra and all sorts of
Potatoes
stuff.
and watermelon.
And God, I got something to eat. I got a job for you, Negro.
There you go.
Right.
Right.
One thing you cannot get around, the resourcefulness, the ingenuity of the black man.
Right.
There's nothing. You have no answer for that.
Right.
You can bring anybody you want. It take a whole damn crew to cancel me out.
Right.
You got to spend a buttload full of money. You need editors, you need musicians, you need camera people. Most of them ain't gonna be as good as me
Right.
at one thing.
And you need money.
And you need money because the people you need,
Right.
the people you have to hire, have to be incredible.
But not only that,
incredibly gifted.
But even if you had all those material things, you still don't have the content.
And that's right.
You still
That's
don't have
right.
content.
That's right.
You still
That's
don't have the
right.
knowledge.
That's right.
You still don't have the
Because the
personality. You
issues
still
the issues that we tackle are global issues.
Right.
So we literally incorporate every aspect of the game.
That's right.
We incorporate the art. We incorporate the science and we incorporate the humanities.
That's exactly
we
right.
incorporate every aspect of the game.
I'm happy to be here, personally.
I'm happy to be here too, but I'm happy to finally understand what I am,
Right.
who I am, and what I'm capable of.
Right.
And so when I voice disappointment in black people, especially young black people, especially young black males, the disappointment is based upon the fact that I know who you are. You don't know who you are. I know how bad you are. I've seen you grow up. I've seen your skill level. A lot of these kids are tremendous artists, tremendous writers, tremendous thinkers, smart as hell. But they have been constantly bombarded with negative opinions of themselves. To the only one who doesn't know how bad these suckers are them. And when we start gaining control over organizations where we don't have to make the ¡1 villain in a Harriet Tubman movie a mythical black bounty hunter.
There's never
a
been
mythical black bounty hunter.
It's always,
mythical black bounty hunter.
Always making us look bad.
They just gave the gold medal to the black women in hidden figures.
How many people knew that these 4 women were instrumental in our NASA project?
But
without calculators.
But in the movie, as always, when you have to go through white folks, in the movie, they invented a mythical white hero figure.
Right.
You know?
To play down the black
who
people.
didn't exist.
Ever.
Who didn't exist in real life. You know, that man that you got, the good white man, he didn't exist. He wasn't there.
Right.
So
the 4 black women.
That's
were
That's
history.
right.
You know what? I had an interesting conversation the other day, and I want to thank everybody for watching us here at 30 Frames a Second. But the way I was describing someone, and I had to recant, I said Nat Wood is a modern day James Baldwin, but he's not. Nat Wood is the modern day Nat Wood.
Well, in fairness to James Baldwin, I had James Baldwin. James Baldwin didn't have Nat Wood.
Right.
So whatever I am, and that's one of the reasons why I tend to be harder on especially young black males because, like I said, I know their potential. I also know that I'm fortunate. I like to say I'm an autodidact, I'm self-taught, but in point of fact, I'm not really self-taught.
Really
I had a whole lot of teachers. What I didn't have is the white school system teaching me, and I had a good white school system teaching me academics.
Right, because you went to Catholic school.
I went to Catholic school, right. But what I did have artistically was I had, growing up in Harlem, I had the Harlem, people from the Harlem Renaissance teaching me about music. And then when I got downtown, I had legendary jazz musicians teaching me.
But the difference is that you accepted that and you wanted it.
That is the difference. That is also, I had the ability to recognize their genius and humble myself and listen to what they had to say.
Not only that, you perfected your craft.
That is correct.
You have to perfect your craft.
My skills, my video skills.
Right, but not only that, Nat, 20 years ago, we didn't have that. We didn't have the technology we had. And Nat, we kept.
But we didn't spit on our ancestors.
But
20 years ago, but 20 years ago, I wasn't contemptuous of those people who. Those black men, because 99.9% of my teachers, my mentors, were black men. Were black men. We are taught to disrespect black men, to marginalize black men. As a result, we are locked out of their mentorship. And that's killing us. That's killing us.
I want to say this, guys.
We got like 2 minutes.
Okay, I want to say this, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching us. We're going to be out For the
Till
next
December.
Till December, yes. This
But
is our last show.
30 Frames will be on.
30 Frames will be on.
Right.
Women's Takeover is next week, and then there's Thanksgiving. We'll come back the first week of December. I want to thank everybody for watching us. In order to get at us, you know where we are. We're on social media, Greg Lassiter and Nat Wood.
Right.
Remember this, Shoot for the Moon. If you miss, you're still among the stars. But you won't get there if you won't get there unless you try. Take us out now.
As we speak, the Trump is trying to knock out DACA because DACA is a threat. When I said by any means necessary, I mean just that, by any means necessary. And any force, any organization that is ready, willing, and able to empower itself and take its rightful place in the decision-making process of how this sucker operates is all right with me. The most important thing, the most important thing on our agenda should be the elimination of white supremacy. Not only is it good for the world, it's good for white folks. White folks need to be free to be people just like everybody else needs to be free to be people.
That's right.
And when you hold back the creative process, you don't help mankind. You don't help humanity at all. You hinder humanity. And hopefully, as we progress and get further and further and further into the future, we'll get better and better and better and make this a better place. But did you say you're...
Oh, I said my thing. Yes. Hey guys, so I want to thank everybody. We love you guys. We're
Melvin,
back
Veronica.
Thank you, Veronica.
Sheilah's on community cop assignment. She'll be back
in a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks.
But not only that, guys, you know, we're going to be back on radio this Friday. Conversation with Greg Lassiter and Nat Wood. We're out.
Peace. We are out of here. You got it.
All right.
What's going on? Why are you taking her shit away? Why are you taking her shit away? Y'all, she's crying. You're taking her shit away, she's crying. Can you just like let her keep her stuff?
Oh man, you could just...
Why?
Can you just back up for right now?
What's she doing?
Man, just back now. It's illegal to sell food inside the subway stations, and we warned her multiple times that she doesn't want to give it up. That's it.
Can she just go outside and keep her stuff?